Hi, English learners. Welcome to Fluent Fables, where you can learn English through simple and powerful stories. Just listen, enjoy, and improve your English step by step. Subscribe and press the bell so you never miss a new story. Part 1, The Beginning of the Seed. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a little seed. It was no ordinary seed. It had big dreams. This seed wanted to grow tall and strong. It wanted to be like the giant trees in the forest nearby. The seed was planted in the soft soil by a kind farmer. The farmer hoped it would grow into a beautiful tree. But the seed faced many challenges right from the start. First, the rain did not come as expected. The soil was dry, and the seed started to feel weak. It wondered, will I ever grow? But the seed did not give up. It held on to hope that one day the rain would come. Days passed, and the seed waited patiently. It did not know something great was happening inside. On the outside, it looked still, but inside, it was slowly starting to sprout. The world seemed harsh, and the rain was not arriving yet. Still, the seed was determined to grow. Would it grow strong enough? Would it face more struggles on the way? Only time would tell. For now, the seed had decided it would never give up. Part 2, The Struggle and the Determination. Days passed, and still the rain did not come. The sun beat down on the soil, making it harder to survive. The seed felt the heat and the dryness in the earth. It was so tough, and hope seemed lost. But the seed remembered its dream. It wanted to grow and reach the sky. The seed knew it could not stop now. It had come too far, and giving up was not an option. One morning, a tiny drop of water fell on it. The seed felt the coolness. It was a spark of hope. It was not much, but it was enough to begin. The seed believed this small drop could start something amazing. It pushed its tiny roots deeper into the soil. It told itself, do not stop now. You are closer than you think. More days went by, and every day the seed fought. The soil was still dry, but the seed was determined. Slowly, it began to grow a small shoot. The seed was no longer just a seed. It was becoming a plant. The journey was tough, but it brought lessons. The seed learned that struggles were part of the process. Without struggles, it would never know its own strength. Each difficulty was just another step toward its goal. No matter how hard it seemed, the seed kept going, and it did. Part 3, The Unexpected Rain. One day, after weeks of waiting, the seed felt something different. The air became cool, and the sky turned dark. A gust of wind blew through the village. The seed felt a sense of anticipation. Then, without warning, the sky opened up. The rain began to pour heavily. It was not just a light shower. It was a strong downpour. The seed felt the raindrops soaking the soil around it. Its roots drank in the water with joy. For the first time, the seed felt a surge of energy. The moisture filled the soil and gave it strength. The seed was no longer just surviving. It was beginning to thrive. With each drop of rain, the seed's roots grew stronger. It pushed its tiny stem upward, reaching for the sky. The rain washed away the dryness and pain. It brought new life and fresh hope. The seed realized that things do not always go as planned. The long wait had been difficult, but it was worth it. The rain came at the right moment. It gave the seed a second chance to grow. This moment taught the seed something important. Even when life feels impossible, there is always hope. The seed felt stronger than ever before. It was no longer just a tiny seed. It was becoming a plant full of promise. The rain was not only a gift. It was proof that perseverance always pays off. Part 4, The Growth and the Challenge. The rain continued for days. The seed grew stronger with every moment. Its roots spread deeper into the soil. Its stem rose higher, reaching for the sun. The seed was no longer small and fragile. It was becoming something amazing. But the journey was not easy. The rain had brought strength, but also new challenges. The weather was unpredictable. Some days were full of sunlight. Others were stormy. The young plant faced strong winds and heavy rains. Many times it bent low to the ground. At times, the plant felt like it could not hold on. The winds shook it, and the rain battered it. But each time the plant stood up again. Each time it bent, it straightened once more. There were moments of doubt. The plant wondered if it would ever stand tall like the trees it admired. Yet after every storm, the plant rose higher. Growth was not easy, but it was happening. Through each challenge, the plant learned a lesson. True growth takes time and patience. It was not about speed or comfort. It was about continuing even when it felt impossible. Every storm was part of the process. Every obstacle made the plant stronger. With each new day, the plant grew more determined. It believed nothing could stop it as long as it kept going. The plant was growing in size and in character. It learned how to bend without breaking. It learned how to stay grounded in the toughest storms. It learned to trust that patience would lead to victory. Part 5, The Triumph in the Promise. The days passed and the plant grew taller. It was no longer just a plant. It was becoming a young tree. Its branches spread wide and leaves began to shine. The seed had transformed into something beautiful. The tiny seed that once struggled was now proud and tall. It had faced challenges and almost gave up many times. But it never stopped trying. It never stopped believing in its dream. The storms, the winds, the dry spells, all had tested it. But each struggle made the tree stronger. The tree now stood in the field. Tall and firm, its branches swayed proudly, a symbol of hope. Other plants around it were smaller, but this tree was different. It had persevered through every hardship. Now it inspired everything around it. One evening, as the sun set, the farmer arrived. He looked at the tree with pride. He had watched it from the beginning. Now he smiled and whispered, "You did it." The tree stood strong and silent. It knew it had fulfilled its purpose. It had survived, grown, and become magnificent. It had learned that success does not come easily. Growth takes patience and resilience. Strength is built through storms, not comfort. The tree had faced the toughest winds and rains. Still, it stood rooted and beautiful. The seed that once refused to die was now the tree that inspired everyone. It reminded the world to never give up. No matter how hard life becomes, hope remains. The journey may be long and difficult, but with belief and determination, anything is possible. The tree's promise was clear: if you keep growing, one day you will reach your dream. Just like the seed, we all have the power to grow. No matter the obstacles, we can rise. The end.